Welcome to the first ever episode of Basha Table Talk, Basha's lowest budget sports broadcast brought to you by the Basha Bear Network. I'm Jaden Ricken, broadcaster and sports analyst for the Basha Bear Network.
And I'm Gavin Wilson, anchor for the BBN and avid sports fan.
Welcome to our first ever episode where we aim to deliver you guys the best sports news as quick as possible. This show, Gavin, is going to be a great show to watch and stick with. We're going to cover so many topics from high school sports to professional sports, college sports, anything. And the best part about the show, in my opinion, is it's perfect for any age range. Anybody could watch this. You could be an adult, a little kid, or even a high schooler like us. That's the beauty, is that we're going to provide this high schooler sports analyst insight into sports that, you might not have necessarily thought of before.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, let's get into the meat of our first episode. But first, if you guys out there have a business or a company and would like to see your ads run on our show, reach out to our Twitter or Instagram for any business inquiries. We would love to show your ads on here or make an ad for you. It'll be a great time, and we'd love to have you. It's going to be a great show, Gavin.
I think it's worth investing in.
All right, our first topic of today is Super Bowl 58. Last Sunday, the AFC and NFC championships concluded, and now we know that the Chiefs and Niners will be rematching again. Was this the matchup you wanted to see, Gavin?
Jaden, I don't think so. I really wanted to see the underdog story in the Lions fully go through. I wanted to see Dan Campbell meet the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I want to see him bite the kneecaps off of Lamar Jackson. But, I think he's kind of the reason they lost on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, he gambled, and he tried taking a big shot, 4th and 11. He didn't get that fourth down. He really should have taken the field goal there. I think that's the difference between them winning and losing the game.
Do you think, though, that the reason the Lions got this far was because of that play calling?
Now, he's the reason they got so far, but he's also the reason they lost. And, it sucks because you want to keep the head coach around that does that. But if he keeps doing that continuously in the playoffs, I think you got to make a coaching change after that.
You got to know when to quit. When you're ahead, you got to know when to settle for a field goal and whatnot. So
there's no need to keep it full throttle 24/7, especially blowing a 24-7 lead. Just run the ball, man. You don't need to go passing the ball 30, 40 yards down the field.
Sure. I don't think, though, that this will be the last time we see the Lions.
No, definitely not.
Dan Campbell did say, though, in his post-game press conference that this may have been the Lions' only shot. So next year, they're going to have to play hard.
I disagree with that. I really do think that the Lions are going to be here for the next 5-6 years. They're going to be competing for the NFC. And, the NFC, I wouldn't say it's up to par with the AFC, but, they have some young competitive teams. The Buccaneers, the Eagles, the Cowboys are definitely on the come up. And Panthers have their quarterback now. I think Bryce Young is definitely going to show out, and they just need to get the right pieces around him.
And then on the other side of the NFC Championship, we have the 49ers with second-year Chandler Unified School District alumni Brock Purdy, who attended Perry High School. He's now taking the 49ers to their second Super Bowl in 4 years. Is Purdy a game manager, Gavin? Or is Purdy the reason the Niners went?
Now, he's pretty good, but, you know what? I don't think he's a game manager, really. I think he really elevates the game because when they had Jimmy Garoppolo in there, he was a true game manager. He didn't move the ball. He passed the ball around, but he didn't really move it downfield. He'd miss the throws. Just like in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, he missed Emmanuel Sanders 40 yards down the field to win the game. I think Purdy's making that throw. He's really elevating the Niners to make the championship and make the Super Bowl.
Do you think that Purdy proved everybody wrong? Specifically Cam Newton, who was talking a lot of crap about a bunch of quarterbacks, including Purdy. Did Purdy silence the haters, or are they still valid?
I think they're always going to be there. Even as a quarterback, haters are always going to be there. Patrick Mahomes, even though he's in the GOAT conversation, there's still going to be haters there. And although Purdy has made the NFC Championship in his rookie year, and now he's made the Super Bowl, they're just going to talk about the team around him with Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. They're not going to talk about how good of a quarterback he is.
Yeah, I think that the quarterback, it is a leader of the team, but it's also a part of a team, right? A great quarterback with a bad team isn't going to get you to the Super Bowl. Same way around. So even if you have a good team with a bad quarterback, you're not going to make it. Purdy may not be Tom Brady yet. He may never be Tom Brady.
Keyword yet.
But what Purdy has done, though, is still incredible. And I think that you have to be a very talented quarterback to get that far. And you can't just be carried by your teammates. You're going to have to show yourself.
Exactly.
So I definitely think Purdy has proved the haters wrong. I think that Purdy is no longer game manager. Alex Smith.
He definitely beat Cam Newton. He beat the allegations.
For sure. And then Alex Smith said a few nights ago that he is, now this is Alex Smith talking, he said that he is the unofficial president of the Game Managers Club, and he said that Purdy is not allowed in. And some people took that as a diss, but clearly what he's saying is that Purdy is that next level. He's not your average QB.
I'd say he's that guy in San Francisco, you know? I think they found their guy. And obviously in that draft, they took Trey Lance 3rd overall. They traded up for it, gave up 3 first-round picks, but you know, all it took was the last pick in the draft, and they found their guy.
All right, moving over to the AFC Championship, the Kansas City Chiefs are going back to their
Don't even get me started.
Super Bowl. They beat the Ravens in what was not their best performance, especially from people like Lamar and Flowers.
No, I think, honestly, the Chiefs did not win this game, man. They put up 17 points. You're not beating any other team. The Jets could have beat you. They could have put up 20 points on you.
The Jets, really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, the Ravens lost this game. You know, that fumble by Zay Flowers, the fumble was following the taunting call. And, you know, I think that just, I don't know, the refs need to kind of get out of the game a little bit, man. Like, I think they're kind of controlling the game, but the Ravens were really the reason they lost. Lamar threw a ball right into triple coverage. As a quarterback going for the MVP, you need to make a better decision than that.
I'll agree with you there that sometimes the referees overstep, but usually for the Kansas City Chiefs, they get a lot of calls going their way.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think we saw as much of that this game as usual.
Oh, no.
We also saw, though, on that topic, the fumbling through the end zone rule, which has become a little controversial in this offseason.
Especially.
It seems like every single week a team will fumble through the end zone, and that ends up being the demise of them. Do you think it should stay around, Gavin?
No, you know, I've thought this for years now, and, you know, even going back to 2020, Browns versus Chiefs in the playoffs, divisional round, that is the reason the Browns lost. They had Rashard Higgins going down the sideline, reached out for the pylon. Daniel Sorensen comes in, hits him on the head, and he fumbles through the end zone, turns into a touchback. It switches all the momentum in the game. You know, I really think that a fumble like that just changes the entire momentum of any game, and it shouldn't be like that, you know?
I think, though, that's the beauty of it almost, is it's this trade-off where if you're going to risk extending the ball to go across the goal line, you're going to have to deal with the chance of a fumble.
Yeah.
And then if you fumble it, it's a turnover. I think that's just the risk-reward factor to it. You're not guaranteed
Yeah, you know, I can
anything.
see that. Yeah.
And I think that smart players will hold onto the ball tight enough, and if you're going to have to really extend and it might be a fumble, you just got to go down earlier.
Yeah, and, you know, if you know that you're taking the chance of reaching, like, if you know you got to either get the touchdown or go out, you know, just honestly just go out at the one, you know, get the first down, and then you got 4 tries to go 1 yard.
100%.
And if you can't get 1 yard in 4 tries, man, you know, you got bigger problems than that.
If you can't get 1 yard in 4 tries, you're not in the AFC Championship game in the first place. No. And then on that topic, Patrick Mahomes, now you said the Ravens are the reason that the Chiefs won that game. I'll agree that it was far from the Ravens' best performance, but Mahomes and Kelsey were a dynamic duo in that game.
Yeah.
The amount of catches Kelsey had, he was 11 for 11. I mean, he was just consistent, making these great turnaround catches. Kelsey was on his game this week, so
I think he's on that all. Like, every playoff game, you know, he's having at least 80 yards, at least 8 catches, you know, even the touchdown in most games. And, you know, breaking Jerry Rice's record of most catches, I think it's 153, 154, something like that. You know, 8 less games, and he already has more catches than him. You know, I think it says something special about them. And I think even though they are getting a little older, Kelsey's like 33, you know, I think they're going to be back here in the next 2-3 years.
This Chiefs dynasty is far from over.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be very surprised if the Chiefs don't put up a fight in this Super Bowl 58 rematch. So expect to see, this is my vote now, I expect the Chiefs to win 21-14. That's my final score.
Okay. I'm going to take the Niners.
Oh, wow.
Let's go 24-17.
24-17.
That's my call.
A lot of field goals in that game.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting one to watch.
Jake Moody and Harrison Butker, they're going to have their work cut out for them.
Oh, man. I love Harrison Butker, one of my favorite kickers in the league.
Now, moving on to our next topic, you know, the Phoenix Suns are finally heating up with their big 3 coming in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think they're making a real push to the playoffs.
I think now that all of them are back in the game, and we've seen a lot of Booker lately. I mean, he's just been on
Oh, yeah.
fire. That the Suns are back, and I think that there is a chance that they could go all the way again this year. It's just rebuilding that team chemistry after they had all the trades for Kevin Durant last year.
Mm-hmm. You know, going for a player like Kevin Durant, obviously, you're going to blow up your entire team. And basing it off of the 2021, the championship run that they had, the only player they have is Booker. And you just got to build a team around Booker like that. He's a young star. And bringing in Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, just scorers who can go in, get some points, and they don't need the ball all the time. I really think that this is a team that can make it all the way. They just got to make it through the Clippers, and they got to make it through Jokic and the Nuggets.
And correct me if I'm wrong now, but did Booker have a 61-point game last week?
So, yeah, last week against the, what was it? I believe it was the Magic, 62 points. No, it was the Pacers. Pacers, 62 points. And they did end up losing that game, sadly, but 62 points is unreal,
Without a doubt. I mean, if you're getting 60 points plus and you're still losing the game, though, I will say that worries me a little bit.
Yeah, it did shock me a little bit.
Is there some hero ball going on there where sometimes when you see those high stat lines, it's because they're not passing, they're not moving the ball. So that's just something to take into consideration for me. Is we know Booker is a star-studded player, but does that come at the cost of winning sometimes? It's a balance. You got to find the middle ground between having Booker as a star and having Booker as a team player.
And, going off that hero ball mentality, I think Karl Anthony Towns the other night had that exact mentality. They won by 5 points, and he put up his career high. I believe it was 65 points or so. And no other player had above 15 points. They were just passing him the ball. And I think I wouldn't say he's among that role of hero ball, really. Because he had 8 or 9 assists, and he's passing the ball to his teammates whenever he gets open. But Booker's just that electric type of player. He'll hit the three whenever you need him to.
Mm-hmm. Well, moving on to our next topic of today, we had an exclusive interview with Basha alumni Miles Lockhart a few weeks ago. It was at his signing day, his national letter of intent, when he was about to head off to Ohio State. And we really reflected on him with what it meant to play here at Basha, what his plans are for the future, and some interesting little questions I had for him that you guys are going to have to stick around for.
It'll definitely be a fun interview.
That's for sure.
All right, today we're here with the Ohio State recruit, Miles Lockhart, 4-star safety defensive back. Miles, what was it like playing at Basha your 4 years in high school?
Oh, I'll say it was really a surreal experience. Coming in as a freshman and then coming in and playing a position that I've never played before is a big risk that the coaches took on me, but I was able to develop really quickly, and it's turned into a lot of blessings for me. So I just thank the coaches and all the guys for welcoming me in with opening arms and just making me feel welcome on the first step I put on campus.
Tell me, how difficult of a jump was that, jumping into high school in a new position, going up against kids who could be, 18 years old, 300 pounds? What was that like?
It was a big jump. It was huge, honestly. The speed of the game was a lot faster. That's something I had to get used to. And, my first scrimmage was against Liberty, so I had to learn quick. And I really think that was what was super beneficial in my career, though, throughout high school, was just being thrown in that fire and just having to learn whether you're going to sink or you're going to swim. So, I was able to swim.
And then throughout your high school career, you had a lot of Hamilton transfers come over to Basha. One in particular was Cole Martin. Everybody knows about him over at Oregon. Was he a big influence on you when he was here? Did you guys make a relationship? Or?
Oh, for sure. No, me and Cole were tight before he even came here. So when he came here, we were already really close friends. It just made our friendship even that much tighter. And when we got to play with each other, the bond was obviously showed on and off the field. And he was a great teammate to have. He brought a lot of energy on the field. He talked a lot of trash. He's just a real fun guy to play with, and he's doing his thing at Oregon. So just real proud of him and thankful for him as well.
If you two were to go up against each other in college, is there gonna be a little rivalry there? Are you two gonna be like, nah, it's chill?
I mean, hey, when we on that field, we're not friends, So we play in my freshman year. We go to Oregon, so that'll be fun. But after the game, it's gonna be all fun and hugs.
You know what? You gotta have a little bit of brotherly love after the game.
Hey, for sure. Come on now.
And then winning state, not just with Cole, but obviously the whole team. Demond, who you met doing sevens before high school. What was it like reaching that huge of a goal, especially after 2 seasons where you guys played great in the regular season and just came up short in the postseason?
No, it was amazing. Like just winning it with the guys, all my friends that I hang out with and that I've been working with in and out since my freshman year. Like you said, when we came in, the year before they went 4-7. So just going from that to my junior year winning the championship it was crazy, and it was just a big thing. I was proud of everybody, all the coaches, and just real thankful. It was a great moment.
Does it mean a lot to you to have your name attached to putting Basha on the map? When people think of like, man, how did Basha come to be? They're gonna think you, Damon, Cole,
Right.
people like that.
I really wouldn't say that means too much to me. I mean, I think it's cool, definitely, but it doesn't mean the world to me. I really what I wanted to do is just bring kids in, really, like just make this like a destination school, like a Chandler, Saguaro, Hamilton. Kids just want to come here, and they're able to compete for championships every year. So I'm glad that I'm able to do that, and I don't need any more recognition than that.
That's fair enough. When did the offers start coming in for college?
Yeah. My first offer came after my freshman season. I don't really remember exactly when, probably about January. ASU offered me first, and then I got I got U of A and a couple others. I had like 5 offers after my freshman year, and then they just continued to come more and more after I just kept getting more and more film, more and more experience.
Was Ohio State the dream school for you? Were you like, man, I cannot wait to go there?
No, the funny thing was my dream school is Stanford. Like I was a big Stanford guy, academics and everything. My dad was a lawyer, and he really liked that type of stuff, and I just realized like that's not really the school that I wanted to be at personally, and my parents gave me the option, obviously, to choose whatever I wanted, and I'm very thankful for that. And they guided me throughout it. But I felt like Ohio was at my heart, and now it is my dream place.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be the right place for you over there. You're gonna have a great time.
Thank you.
Did your dad, because you just mentioned him, did he
Right.
help get you into football at all?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's the reason that I started playing football. I saw a picture of him when I was real little. He played at U of A. Played receiver, so just seeing him play made me want to play. And he's taught me a lot of stuff. He used to take me out to the park all the time when I was little, and just show me all the basic things of football, teach me about the game. So, he's been very instrumental in this whole process.
I gotta ask this to you, all right? Now, this, in my opinion, is the most important part of the football game, the pregame. Now, Miles, you're the one on the aux, right?
Always on the aux.
How big of a responsibility is it to be the one in charge of the music?
Bro, that's the most important thing. Like, if you don't got the right music, you're not going to be going out in the right mentality. I feel like music really does put you in that mentality, whether you really think it does or doesn't. And I think, you throwing that young boy, get you in the right mood, it'll really help you on the field a little bit. So, yeah, I'm always on that aux, though.
Was Young Boy the go-to?
Young boy's always the go-to, man. Young boy. Come on, man.
And then this one, now I'm asking you to think back, all right, all the way back to your time at Payne Junior High School, all right? Are you familiar with a physical education coach there? His name, I'm trying to remember, I believe it was Durst.
Durst, yep, Ryan Durst, yep.
Ryan Durst. So when you were in 8th grade, you had Ryan Durst, and I was actually in your PE with you. So I find it crazy. I'm thinking all the way back then,
Right.
I'm like, man, wow, bro, that's crazy. He's going out, he's exceeding in life. He's going all the way out to Ohio State, and it's like, I was playing volleyball with this kid back when I was like in 7th grade.
No, bro, I appreciate that, man, for real. It's been a great experience. I mean, Payne, that's where my mom's at and everything. I had a lot of fun at Payne and stuff, so I appreciate it. Appreciate you, though.
Do you feel like time flew? It slipped?
Oh, bro, like, for real. Like, I look back at it now, I can remember when I came in as a freshman. Like, it really does feel like yesterday. It went by so quick. My parents told me it would, but I didn't expect it until, like, you really are done. Like, I just signed my papers. Tomorrow's my last day of high school, so it's really just starting to hit me now.
And final question for you. You said that you liked making Basha a location for kids to come to. They want to come here. It's a school where people want to play football. Do you have any messages or any final remarks to kind of give to any athletes potentially thinking about going to Basha?
Right, I know. I feel like this is just a great spot to be now. It's a hot spot. I feel like a lot of guys are coming here. There's a lot of great people here, a lot of great coaches. The school's great. So, I mean, I feel like it's really just a good place to be. And they'll be in contention for the championships for years to come. Absolutely.
All right, appreciate you coming out, Miles. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Miles Lockhart is something special, Gavin.
Yeah,
that
I agree.
kid, he's going places at the Ohio State. Expect to see him in the next 4 years out on that field sporting the red Buckeyes outfit. He's very inspirational. And when I got to speak to him, I just felt like there's a lot of fake people in the world, right? There's a lot of people who will try and put on a persona of something they're not. Miles was very real.
He's not one of them.
He's a very down-to-earth guy, and I just felt like this is somebody that, let's say even football doesn't work out, he's going to be successful in life no matter what. He's a great kid.
He's going to have good people around him.
Definitely. Miles, if you're watching this, thanks for coming on. We'd love to have you again, say in a year when you're through your first freshman year of college football, but we loved having you on.
Yeah. And, talking about another Basha alumni, Damon Williams Jr., quarterback for the Basha Bears. Obviously, he won the championship with us, and
Basha's first ever state championship as well.
And he led that team, but this is his third college he's transferring now to Washington. He decommitted from Ole Miss about 3 weeks ago.
Or he decommitted from University of Arizona about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Ole Miss was about half a year ago.
Yeah, from Ole Miss to U of A and then now to Washington. I think it's a great move for him, but, I think the NIL deals and the transfer portal, it's having a big effect on how players are, viewing the game. And, obviously,
Yeah, it just has changed the dynamic of college sports and even high school sports with the high school transfer portal, where it almost feels like everything's a business right now. Everything is, you've got to go to the best team with the best players. And I think a lot of the times players don't really see things through. They don't really fully look at this situation. And you can leave behind a lot of good teams or teams that are building up when you just see a quick success. You say, oh man, there's a bunch of players here. I'm going to go there. Now, Damon's situation was a little different this time with U of A because his coach was at U of A. And then because of Nick Saban retiring, there was a coaching position transfer, and then Washington opened up, which his coach took that position at Washington, thus Damon following him there. So his situation's a little different, but I think the transfer portal is something we definitely have to dig into a lot more in our next episode.
We definitely will.
I think there is so much there and even some scandalous stuff going on that we really need to do an investigation on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you guys for tuning into the first ever episode of Basha Table Talk. We hope you had a great time. And make sure to leave any feedback down in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you guys thought. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Basha Bear Network. We'd love to have you guys show your support. And I think, Gavin, people should kind of leave their Super Bowl score predictions down below. See if you guys are right or not. I'm sure I'm right, but maybe you guys have a differing opinion.
I definitely want to see what you guys think, if you're even going to watch a Super Bowl this year.
Some people won't. I mean, without the Lions, a lot of America's like, that's not really for me anymore.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming out and watching our show. I've been Jaden Ricken.
And this has been Gavin Wilson.
We'll see you next time.